Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here today on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning. And before we get into what we're going to talk about this morning, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need advice, I'd be more than happy to give you the help that you need. If you just want to talk or you have some questions about some of the videos I made, or just want to or just need a second opinion, I'd be more than happy to give you the help that you need. If you want to call, just send a text to that number and just let me know that it's you and you want to talk about your narcissistic experience and you need some help, and I'll be more than happy to give you advice, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you and help you out. So, having said that, without further ado, we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about today, and that is no one is more hated than the person who tells the truth. Yes. No one is more hated than the person who tells the truth. In the narcissistic, abusive experience, in the relationship, in whatever situation that you are in with narcissists, whether it's your boss, whether it's your coworker, whether it's your sibling, your brother, your sister, whether it's your uncle, your aunt, your parent, whether it's a person that you just met at the store, whether it's a person that you know from church or something like that, whether it's at work, whether it's anywhere. Narcissists are everywhere. Narcissists come in all different shapes and sizes. They speak different languages. They're tall, they're short, they're fat, they're skinny. They blend into society. But the thing with all narcissists is that they all play by the same playbook. They all do the exact same things, but they do the same things, but they do it in different ways to different people. So if you were dealing with a narcissist, let's say, that narcissist that you're dealing with, you have to remember all narcissists do the exact same things, but they do it differently to different people because we're all different people. We're all different human beings, right? So, for example, if you have a good supply of money, let's say that the narcissist was seeking you out because you had a lot of money. They saw you had a lot of money. They sized you up. They did everything. They got to know everything about you, and they got close to you. But you didn't know that they were a narcissist. You just thought that they were just a normal person, just getting to know you, right? You just thought it was a reciprocal relationship. You were getting to know them. They were getting to know you. They're asking questions and da 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 da. But what you didn't know is that this person turned out to be a narcissist. They saw your supply of money, and before you know it, all your money ran out, and you had $0 in your bank account. You had bankruptcy, and you were filing this and that, and now your life is a total mess. You're in a total financial mess, right? Or if, let's say that you gave good sex, let's say it wasn't about money, but let's say that you didn't have money, but you were good in the bed, let's say, and the narcissist saw this, they got to know you, and perhaps you guys had a one night stand or something like that, and then they got close to you, and before you know it, it turns from friendship into relationship, then relationship into you guys moving in together, then you guys, for the narcissist probably has a kid with you, let's say, and then now you guys have kids, and then before you know it, then you're probably married. All these things, they fall into place. And narcissists, they do this because like I said, they go from person to person, and they know exactly what they're going to take from each person, because the things that they take from each person is different is different depending on what that person has to offer. But narcissists, remember, and the key word is take. Narcissists are always looking to take from people. And once they take what they can from people, that's usually when they move on to another person, right? Or they have another person in the wings. Sometimes they don't, but 90% of the time, 98% of the time, narcissists leave you for another person, but they don't necessarily leave you for a person who is better than you, or is better looking than you, or has more money than you. Not necessarily the case. The narcissist leaves you most of the time because you either caught on to their narcissistic behavior, you called them out or put up a boundary, or they leave you because you're a truth teller, because you're a person that tells the truth. Or the narcissist leaves you because excuse me, they also could leave you because of the fact that they hate themselves. Because you have to remember, narcissists in and of themselves, they don't like who they are. They're very insecure people, right? They don't they that's why they always go after, that's why they're constantly going after people. That's why they're always looking at people as opportunities, because they know that at any one time that relationship that they have with that person, or what they're going to take from that person, it's going to go sideways, because narcissists love chaos, confusion, and control. And they know that once they dump all their chaos onto one person, every human being has a tolerance, has an amount of tolerant things that they can tolerate. Every human being has a breaking point where they're going to break, where they're going to put up a boundary and say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. Or you've been doing this for X amount of years or X amount of time. I'm not going to do this anymore. And the narcissist knows this. They know that everybody can tolerate only so much. And they know that once that person stands up for themselves, or once that person wises up, the narcissist is going to grow a hatred for that person, because narcissists don't like boundaries. Narcissists like to think that they're infallible, that they're the best thing on the planet, because they believe in their disordered brain, in their disordered mind that doesn't have any empathy. They believe inside of themselves that they're better than everyone else, that they're smarter, that they're better looking, that they have more money, that they're this, that they're that. Narcissists believe that they're infallible. They believe that they're even better than God. They believe that they're above God, and that they don't have to follow any rules. They don't have to follow any regulations. That if they're a spiritual narcissist, that they can believe what they want to believe. They can put their own belief system in the Bible. That they can say, oh, although the Bible says that, but I believe this, so I'm gonna do what I want. And despite the fact that the Bible says don't steal, the Bible doesn't explain what happens if you don't steal, right? So I can steal and I can do whatever I want. That's your spiritual narcissist. So you have to keep in mind, narcissists don't like people who walk in the truth. That's why me, for example, that's why, that's one of the reasons why my ex-wife couldn't stand me, because she saw that I was somebody who walked in the truth, that I was always telling the truth, that I was always someone who wanted to do the right thing even when no one was looking, that I was someone who, it doesn't matter what happened, I would always keep my word, that when I gave my word, that I would honor my word, that I would do what I said. And she couldn't stand that. She hated that. And she grew a hatred for me because I always did what was right. And same thing with my family. They hated me because I always said the truth. I was always the one who would not lie. I was always the one who would always do the right thing, right? I would always be a person of my word and not do anything outside of that. And I was always honest, right? That's one thing narcissists hate. They hate honesty. They hate authenticity. Why? Because they and of themselves, they are not honest people. They are not truthful people. They are not people who are people of their word. They say one thing, and then within the snap of a finger, if something better comes along, then they will ditch that thing and they will go off to the next thing. Right? So if, let's say that you guys had plans together, let's say that you and your spouse, your wife, your husband, you were supposed to go to see a show, for example. And this happened within my marriage. Like me and my ex-wife, at one point we were married, we were supposed to go see a show, a theater show. It was scheduled. And keep in mind, her, the narcissist, she scheduled the show. She was the one who scheduled it this time, right? So she scheduled this show. We're supposed to get ready. We're supposed to go. And then she says something to the effect of, "Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go spend time with my friend. I'm gonna go do some plant work with my friend." And I'm just like, "But we said that we were supposed to be going to see a show this weekend. We're as a married couple, we're supposed to go see a show." But then her response was, "Oh, well, I want to go spend time with my friend, and I just want to do plans. Why are you getting so serious? Why are you getting mad for it?" I'm just like, I'm not getting mad. I'm just saying that you scheduled this show for us, and I sort of put my plans on hold just so that we could see the show, so that we could go spend time as a married couple together. And then her response was, "Well, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go spend time with my friend. I'm going to go do some plans with my friend. I don't care." So what I'm saying is that narcissists, they do these things to people. Let's say that, for example, you were supposed to go on a vacation. You guys planned a vacation, and let's say you planned it well in advance, right? And you're a person of your word. You kept your word and you said, it doesn't matter what comes up in my life. I'm going to stick to the fact that we planned this vacation together, right? And you put it, you put all the plans together for next year that you're going to go on this vacation. And then a month before the vacation, your spouse or your sibling or whomever, your friend, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let's say for this instance, it's your spouse. You're a month before they come up to you and say, I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. And then you're just like, but we're supposed to go on a vacation and we planned this a year in advance. And then they're like, so what? You don't care about me? So what? I can't do anything good enough for you? And you're scratching like, but we're supposed to go on vacation. We planned this in advance. And you're scratching your head saying, what the hell is going on here? And then you plan for next year, and then next year comes and it's the same cycle of abuse, right? The same exact thing happens where you're supposed to go on vacation, or not even, maybe not vacation. You're supposed to go see your family next year. And then when it's time to go see your family, they make up the same nonsense excuse that, oh, well, I have to work. They called me in for work, so I'm going to go work. And you're scratching your head saying, but we planned this in advance, though, a year in advance. And then now you guys get into, they give you the silent treatment, and then they just walk away and say, oh, I can't stand you, or, oh, why are you talking to me, and blah, 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 blah. And then you're scratching your head saying, but what's going on here? And you're trying to figure out what you did wrong. And you're trying to ask them, did I do something wrong? And that's what the narcissist wants. They want you to crave. They want you to come after them. Narcissists want people to need them because narcissists want to feel needed. They have an insatiable need for admiration. They want to think that they're the best thing ever. So they want people to come after them, right? So nobody is more hated than the person who tells the truth. The narcissist doesn't like the fact that you are a truthful person, that you are an honest person, that you're a good person, that when the narcissist sees, for example, if you're at church and you're getting along with everybody, let's say that you're new to the church, for example. Let's say that you moved to the area, you're new, and this church you've come across and you're going to church and, you get along with everybody and, you laugh with everyone, you make jokes and everybody just has a good sense about you. Everybody respects you. You're always on time for church and people look up to you. Right? And people love you, right? And the narcissist, whomever that person is, whether it's the pastor, the elder, the minister, the person who's been going to that church for 40 years or 50 years, and they sit back and they watch and they see you from afar, they're saying, this person, whether you're a guy or a gal, this person, they're getting along with everybody. But me, the narcissist, I don't get along with everybody. I don't like anyone. But they're getting along with everybody. But I can't have that. I can't have people getting along with that person. I can't have people respecting them because I don't like anyone. And I don't like the fact that they're getting attention and I'm not getting attention. So what am I going to do? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get very close to that person, the empath watching my video. I'm going to get close to that person. I'm going to start getting to know them. I'm going to get to know what their likes and dislikes are. I'm going to start asking them things like, what is your deepest secret? Or what makes you jealous? Or what makes you angry? What makes you angry, right? Or what do you not like? I'm going to start asking those questions. And then what I'm going to do, because I'm a narcissist and I'm the devil's minion, what I'm going to do then is when I ask those questions and I find out what you don't like and what makes you jealous and what your deepest secret is, what I'm going to do is those same people that you are getting along with, I'm going to go over to them and I'm going to start telling flat out lies about you. I'm going to lie and say, guess what you need to know about that person? That person, you don't know this about them because you guys didn't have that conversation and you're not a narcissist. That person, guess what? They are, the truth is that they're not a very good person. They got into a fight 10 years ago. They start fights and all that. And these people say, oh my gosh, is that right? And then they start believing that. And then when you go to have conversations with these people, now they're giving you side eye. They're looking at you like you did something wrong, or they're treating you differently, or they're whispering about you to other people. And you're just like, what's going on here? Just the other day, these people were respecting me. They were looking up to me. They were treating me respectfully. Now they don't want anything to do with me. What's going on here? What did I do? Is it me? Is it the person? And now you're scratching your head and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Because you're trying to figure out, the other day they were respecting you, but now they don't want anything to do with you. They're gossiping about you. And you're just like, what? Well, what happened there was that the narcissist, whom you didn't know is a narcissist, they were spreading the smear campaign about you. They were going around smear campaigning because they saw that you are somebody who is a truthful, honest, authentic person. And the narcissist is jealous of you. They are jealous and envious of the fact that you are a truth teller, that you are such a good person, that you are always honest, that you do the right thing, right? Maybe at work, think about your workplace bully, for example. Let's think about that boss who's a bully, or that colleague who's a bully, right? Let's say that you're at work and you've been working for the company for 10 years, or let's not say 10 years. Let's say that you're new to the company. Let's say that you're just starting out and you're new and everything, and you're getting to know everybody you work with. You're a very positive person. You get along with everybody. Your colleagues respect you. They respect the fact that you show up on time, the fact that you're never late, the fact that you're dependable, the fact that you get the job done, the fact that you will go out of your way to help your colleagues. If you're done your work, you will go to see if everybody else is okay, and you will go and help them, right? And then you have that, and then you're doing well though. Everybody's saying you're doing well. Your boss is even saying that they're getting good reports about how you're such a good and honest person. You do your job well, and everything seems to be going well. And then you come into work one day, and then the boss, they want to come and have a meeting with you, and they call you into the office, and then this person that you don't know, you've seen them, but you don't know anything about them, they're in the office with the boss, and you're scratching your head saying, what's going on here? And then the boss says, okay, so let's have a talk. And then they're talking to you about the fact that this person said something to the effect of, so I heard from one of your colleagues that that you said something disrespectful to them, that you said that they were stupid, or you said that they don't do their job, that they're not a good worker. And then you're scratching your head like, what the hell? This person, if anything, was the person who said I was really good. I don't know if any of this happened. And then the boss now says, is this true? And then the person is saying, no, that's not true. And then you're scratching and say, but no. And then now you're explaining yourself. And then guess what that person in the office is doing with the boss? They're smirking at you. They're looking at you like that. And then they're smiling. They're smirking at you. And then you're just like, what the hell? And then that person is laughing inside themselves saying, I got this one. I'm probably gonna keep my job while this person gets fired. See, narcissists are everywhere, and they hate people who tell the truth. They don't like truth tellers. They don't like people that walk in the truth. They see your truth, the fact that you're telling the truth, as a lie. They think that you're doing the things that they are doing, because the narcissist knows that they're not truthful at all, that they will throw anybody under the bus any chance that they get. They think that they're better than everyone else. And anytime somebody is doing better than them, they will stomp all over that person. And I can tell you right now, as an empath, somebody who tells the truth, somebody who was ostracized throughout my life, throughout their life. I was ostracized throughout my life, and I was, not invited to get-togethers. I was not invited to family events. I was not invited to this meeting or that meeting, just because I was a truth teller. And just because I was a person who told the truth, right? I remember when I was married to my ex-wife, and her family invited us to come over, right? They invited us, and they said we're invited. And my ex-wife, they told me that my ex-wife told me that I was invited. Oh, well, of course, I'm hoping I'm invited because I'm her husband, right? And then a couple days before, or I think the day of, she came up to me and she said, I think I'm gonna go to my family by myself. And I'm just like, but why not? Didn't you say that I was invited? And then she said, yeah, but I just, I just don't want you to come. And I'm just like, but why not? We're married. We're a couple. I'm your husband. Why would I not come? And as far as I know, your family gets along with me very well. What's the problem? And he's just like, I just don't want you to come. And I'm just like, okay. And then in the back of my head, I always knew that something was wrong. I always knew that something was amiss. But see, I gave her a chance because I just thought, okay, maybe she just wants to spend some alone time with her family because sometimes you want to just be with your family, right? Because it's your family, right? And so I always sensed that something was wrong, that they were going to be talking about me by my back. But later on, yes, I found out my ex-wife was a covert narcissist, and that's what she does, and that her family has been doing that to different people, friends of hers, and all that. I found that out later on. But what I'm saying is that, guys, narcissists, they don't like people who tell the truth. They don't like people who are good-hearted people. Narcissists hate that because they in of themselves they hate themselves. That's one of the hugest reasons. And play this part of the video. If you're new to the channel, thank you again for being here. The biggest truth and the biggest reason amongst the fact that narcissists found a new supply, or the narcissists they got bored of you, or the narcissists they just decided to leave you hanging. The biggest reason why the narcissist discarded you, and this is something that most content creators and people don't talk about, but I will talk about it. The biggest reason that the narcissist discarded you is because of the fact that they hate themselves. They don't like who they are. They see that you're such a good-hearted person, and they don't like the fact that they are not a good-hearted person, because they look at you and they say that you are so good, but I'm so bad. And I don't want to be in this because I don't like who I am. I hate myself. And so they end it just like that. And they discard you. They throw you away. They throw away all the years of hard work, all the years of you raising the kids, all the years of you cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, and taking care of them, taking them to this appointment and that appointment, and doing things for them and all that. They throw all that away because they know that they've done it before in the past to other people. But you're just the most recent supply source. You're just the most recent person that they're going to take advantage of. And narcissists, they do this every day. That's just the cold hard truth. They do this every single day. So if the narcissist discarded you and you feel bad, just know that you are not the first person. You are not alone. You are not the first person that they're going to discard, because they do it every single day to every single person that they meet. Everything with the narcissist is temporary. Everything with the narcissist is going to end at some point. So just because you may know the new supply, the new person that the narcissist is in relationship with, or the person that they discard you for, although you know them, don't think for a second that the new supply is getting anything better than you are. Because I can assure you that nothing, 99% of the time, those things are not what they appear to be. It's all a facade. It's all a lie. They put on a show. Narcissists are very good at putting on a show. They are pros. They are masters at putting on a show. And once that show ends, that person is going to be left holding the bag. And that person was you. That person was me. And that person was many other people. But see, you're here and you're watching my video for a reason. So yeah, guys, I hope that this video helped you out. That's what I wanted to talk about today. The fact that nobody is more hated than the person who tells the truth. And it's very true. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share it with somebody who you think could use the knowledge. Go and watch my previous videos. Go and watch the podcast I spoke on about my narcissistic experience, about the things I went through and how I made it out. Go watch that video. It's really, really instrumental. I think it'll help you out, especially if you're new to the channel, if you're new to learning narcissism, if you've been through the cycle and you know what I'm talking about. Drop a comment below so that more and more people can become aware of this, because I'm trying to spread my awareness on it. I'm trying to teach more people about it. Again, if you want a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com. Or if you want to talk on the phone, 647-406-3057. If you want to call, just send a text. Let me know that it's you, just so that I don't see the number and then probably block it or delete it because it's just a random number calling me. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about. So thank you so much for being here again. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the next video. And have a really good day.